life's a journey, not a destination. Now, this phrase is often attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson, but I first heard it as a song lyric in the Aerosmith song Amazing. And although their 1993 album Get a Grip was great, maybe a little bit overplayed, I'd like to say I was a fan of the band back in 1990 when I picked up their album Pump. You see, Pump was recorded after most of the band had gone through drug rehabilitation. It's considered to be a pivotal point in the band's life. In many ways, you could say Aerosmith as a group of individuals, as a band, their music had evolved. And this evolution propelled them into the 1990s as they went on to become one of rock's most enduring acts. So, why am I sharing all this with you? What does this have to do with your style evolving as you get older? Well, gents, let's paraphrase, go back to the beginning. Style is a journey, not a destination. All right, Jen, so I'll take credit for that one because I want to encourage you, no matter what your age, you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, your style can evolve. Your style can always get better. All right, Jen, so here's the plan. For each age, I'm going to give you a few style tips and essential wardrobe items. Now, for the second half of this video, we're going to talk about where to spend your big money, those timeless wardrobe items that you can buy at age 25 and still be using at age 45. So at what age does a man start caring about his looks? I know for me, it was probably 13. Maybe it was before that, but I remember being 13 out in California, hanging out with my big sister who was super cool. She had a Mercedes. She was in her mid-20s. She was living the life. I was living in a trailer park back in West Texas, but I would go out in the summers and see her, and she took me shopping. She's like, you know what? We're going to transform your look. I loved it. She bought me a shirt with skulls on it, and most importantly, she said, you know what? We're going to get you a new hairstyle. Now, gents, the reason I'm sharing that story with you is so many of us start off caring about style, but we don't know what we're doing. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. If you're 19, if you're 17, if you're 15, have fun with your style. At this age, society's expectations for you are pretty low. So you should have fun with discovery and experimentation because you don't have anything to lose. For most of you guys, you're going to be sticking with very casual styles, in many ways dressing like a lot of your friends. Some of you guys are going to find a group, which by the way is 100% normal. We want to look like the tribe. We want to be part of the group, and those non-visual communication cues are a big part of it. But if you're young and you want to pick up a couple skills that are going to serve you the rest of your life, understand first the importance of fit. So as an example, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to have a lot of formal wear, but let's say for prom, instead of renting a tuxedo, how about you actually buy a suit, assuming that you've stopped growing, or pick one up at a thrift store, but take it to a tailor, get it adjusted to fit your body, and actually look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, like you can look really good and more mature simply by putting on this timeless garment. And right with that, experiment with colors and patterns, especially colors. Find the colors that just look really good. You can experiment, you can try something. Maybe gold isn't your thing, but you put on that regal purple, all of a sudden you're getting compliments. You are now understanding that, hey, this is a go-to color for me. I probably want to bring it in a few other items into my wardrobe. Now, as I was sharing that story about a 13-year-old Antonio caring about his hair, some of you guys are thinking, Antonio, every guy in my family loses his hair. In fact, some of you guys may have noticed the symptoms of losing your hair already. Gents, if you want to keep your hair, you need to check out today's sponsor, Keeps. And gents, I've talked about Keeps for years because I love what these guys do. Gents, Keeps is an online subscription service that makes it easy and affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness. Oh, and the best part, you can do all of this from the comfort of your own home. Gents, with Keeps, you get clinically proven treatments that address hair loss and boost hair regrowth. All of this delivered to your door in discreet packaging. So once you're on the Keeps website, you're going to complete an online consultation. The treatment plan is personalized to your unique needs and is recommended by a licensed medical professional. Keeps also offers hair thickening shampoo, conditioner, and styling pomade. These products work together to complement your treatment plan and enhance results by making thinning hair look thicker using a special formula designed by hair loss experts. And gents, you don't have to believe me. Go over to the website. You're going to see that they have thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews. Keeps has helped almost 1 million men keep their hair. So remember, gents, hair loss stops with Keeps. And to get started today, go to keeps.com/RMRS. Gents, I'm putting that link in the description of today's video. Remember, when you use our links here at Real Men Real Style, you get the best deal on the web. All right, gents, so let's talk about the style evolution from teens to 20s. What's the difference? Well, in your 20s, you start to establish a bit of professionalism. You start to discover your personal style. And again, the path here can be all over the place. I had a friend named Scotty, and Scotty went from prep to cowboy to biker. I think there was even an emo period for him. Point being is by your mid-20s, by your late 20s, you're starting to establish what looks good on you. You are finding your personal style. Another key point here is that you've stopped growing. At least height-wise. Most men do by the age of 21, although some to the age of 24. Example, David Robinson, he grew like 6 to 8 inches in his early 20s. In any case, why this matters is because now you can start investing in quality pieces that are going to last. Now, of course, most guys in their early 20s, this is when they're at their peak body fat to muscle ratio in terms of that body fat being low. But as long as you keep your weight relatively in check, you could find that a pair of shoes you buy in your late 20s could serve you for 20 to 30 years. But again, that assumes you make the perfect choice, which is probably going with a higher end pair of dress shoes that are Goodyear welted from an established brand. But realistically, yeah, in your 20s, you're still going to make a lot of mistakes. As long as you're thinking, starting to evolve this way, you are on the right path. Now, in your 30s, society's expectations for you start to change. All of a sudden, people are starting to defer to you simply based off of a little bit of gray hair. And because of that, your 30s are the emergence of refinement and leadership for you. And gents, if it's not obvious, I want to point out these ages are generalities. You could be a 22-year-old just getting out of my United States Marine Corps, and you bet you're going to have a lot more leadership than the average 30-year-old. When it comes to this whole style and age thing, you can evolve as quickly as your maturity will allow you. So in your 30s, you start to understand that there is always a dress code. Yes, most places do not state this, but you can't show up naked. You can't show up dressed like a clown. You get kicked out of work, right? Clothing is nothing more than a form of nonverbal communication. You start to realize when you wear certain clothing, you come off as more competent. You come off as an authority. You look the part of a leader. So for a lot of guys, it's in their 30s, they realize, you know what? Why would I shoot myself in the foot and not dress in the manner that I want to be seen by others who are taking these mental shortcuts and quickly judging me and putting me in a box? Why not use this to my advantage and have them shortcut me to the front of the line? So it's at this age that you all of a sudden start understanding the power of a jacket, building up those shoulders, slimming up the silhouette, giving that feeling of authority to people that see you wearing it. You also in your 30s finally learn the name of your tailor because you're taking not only your formal clothing, but also your casual clothing to be adjusted to fit you and look better. So what about in your 40s? What about in your 50s? Mastery and elegance. At this point, gents, you start to have a strong understanding of who you are and what you stand for. You've been in a few relationships. You've been married. Maybe you've been divorced. You've dealt with things most people wouldn't even understand. And like me, you understand clothing doesn't matter. But it does matter because people are lazy. And you don't want to deal with idiots who are going to misclassify you. You simply use style as a tool to get what you want out of life. Because I'll be straight up, gents, my health, fitness, relationships are much more important to me than style. But style is a tool that I see so many men not ever in 50, 70 years figure out to use to their advantage so that they can become the man they know themselves to be. So gents, please take my advice. Use style as a tool to get what you want out of this one life that you have. Now, at this point, I want to give you some items that if you're looking to build a timeless wardrobe, you're in your early 20s, you're looking for quality, maybe you're in your 30s, you want an item that's going to serve you for years. What should you buy? Well, first up, we've got the suit. You knew it was going to be on this list. I love a good suit. And to be straight up, gents, I still have 3 suits in my collection that I bought in my late 20s that are a little bit tight. I could probably get adjusted to fit me, but I look at them and I'm proud. They're timeless. They're well designed. Yes, I did get help from a tailor and professional to actually put them together. They were custom made. But my point, gents, if you get a suit that's timeless in design, this thing can serve you for 20 to 30 years, depending on how you keep your body in shape. Next up, we have the classic Oxford Balmoral. Now, if you go plain, simple, and black, that's probably going to be the most timeless. But even this pair I have right here that I purchased over 20 years ago, I can and I still do wear this pair of shoes because it's quality made. They're Goodyear welted, and the style is timeless. We have a classic color in black. Dark brown also works. It has a closed lacing system, which in case you don't know, an open lacing system is going to be more casual, although very few people know the difference. And as you can see right here, this one's a little bit casual with the cap toe and the bit of broguing. That being said, with your charcoal or navy colored suit, black is going to work. It's timeless. You'll be able to wear this to a wedding, to an interview, to a funeral. It's going to work anytime that you need to show respect and you need to look your best. Now, this next one is often overlooked, and I love if you go timeless, it really can be a statement piece. Guys, I'm talking a classic piece of outerwear. A dark wool overcoat is where you'd want to go, but a good looking navy peacoat is not only functional, it's timeless. This thing has a long history with the military, and I think can be a statement piece for a guy in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or beyond. You find yourself in Northern Europe. the parka is going to serve you because it has served men for over 100 years. Or maybe you want to go for a well-fitted racer style jacket. There are tons of leather jackets out there. You could go bomber, you could go flight, tons of different options. I'm going to go ahead and throw out the racer because I like it. It's a little bit sleek. Go with maybe in a solid black. This could be a jacket that serves you for 20 to 30 years. Or if you want something that's going to grab a little bit more attention, maybe look to a suede. I've worn tons of different colored suedes in many of my videos. And what I love about this simple, clean design is this is a jacket that is never going to go out of style. Another item that can serve you well your entire life, a well-made briefcase. Now, straight up, in your late 20s, you can be into the modern style, something sleek, something simple. And who knows, in your 40s, you may say, I want something a little bit more eclectic. Gents, there's no way to protect yourself from the wants of your future self, but at least if your future self maybe can't afford, or you're like saying, my old briefcase gets the job done, or who knows, maybe you want to own a couple to be able to change it up. But still, it's nice to know and feel that you made a smart choice in your 20s to buy something that would be able to serve you for years. Now, items that you're going to have to replace every few years, and there's nothing wrong with this. These are items usually that sit closer to the body. So we're going to see socks, we're going to see underwear, we're going to see undershirts, and even dress shirts in this category. And yes, I know that dress shirts can last 20 years. I've got some older ones, but even the best quality dress shirts do start to get rigid after about 100 washes. You start to lose buttons, the whites start to lose their whiteness. Now, I like to change mine up every few years and refresh. Now, I find that sneakers are much more susceptible to the whimsical winds of fashion. Nothing wrong with that. And some styles and some colors are a little bit more fashion resistance, but I do find if you wear sneakers quite a bit, they do eventually wear out. So there's nothing wrong with replacing your sneakers every couple years. Now, some of you guys are saying, Antonio, what about other accessories? What about watches? What about, other timeless items? Well, guys, I got you covered right here with this video. If you enjoy today's video, you're going to love this one. Check it out. Boom, right here. Oh, yeah. Come on, click it. Go. You want to do it. Boom.